Alkanes and alcohols. Aim of lesson. At the end of the lesson you should have a proper understanding and be able to distinguish between the following. Alkanes. The basic types of alkanes, not more than 5 carbon atoms. Their chemical and structural formulas. Their importance in plants and animal metabolism. The concept, isomers as represented by simple alkane structures. Alcohols. The basic types of alcohols, their structures and importance, with reference to methanol and ethanol. Comparison between alcohols and alkanes based on their general structural formulas. Introduction. Pre-content of term 1 must be linked to the current content. Basic agricultural chemistry. Chemical bonds. Inorganic and organic bonds. The purpose of the following lesson is to discuss the content associated with the following. Alkanes and alcohols. Concepts and skills. Alkanes and alcohols. Alkane. Alkanes are hydrocarbons ranging from 1 carbon atom for each molecule to chains containing 60 or more carbon atoms. Examples of alkanes are as follows. Methane, CH4, it is a gas found in coal mines and has no odor or color. Molecular formula, CH4. Structural formula. Ethane, C2H6, also an odorless, colorless gas. Molecular formula, C2H6. Structural formula. Propane, C3H8. Molecular formula, C3H8. Structural formula. Butane, C4H10, also an odorless, colorless gas. Molecular formula, C4H10. Structural formula. The importance of alkanes in plant and animal metabolism. Metabolism is the set of chemical reactions or processes that take place in living organisms to sustain life. These processes enable organisms to grow and reproduce, maintain their structures, and respond to their environments. Metabolism is usually divided into 2 categories, catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism breaks down organic matter, for example to gain energy during cell respiration. Anabolism uses energy to build up components of cells, for example proteins and nucleic acids. Certain types of bacteria can metabolize alkanes. They prefer carbon chains with even numbers, because they can be degraded more easily than chains with odd numbers. On the other hand, certain archaea, unicellular microorganisms, produce large amounts of methane through the metabolism of carbon dioxide or other oxidized organic compounds. Energy is released through the oxidation of hydrogen. Isomers. Isomers are organic compounds that have the same molecular formulas but different arrangements of atoms, structures. These differences tend to impart different chemical and physical properties to the molecule. Name and molecular formula. Structure. Boiling point. Melting point. Physiological activity. Alcohols. The common formula for alcohol is ROH. R represents a hydrocarbon radical attached to an OH. Alcohols are named according to the radical to which the OH is attached. For example, if the OH is attached to the methyl radical CH3 so that the compound is CH3OH, we have methyl alcohol, also known as methanol. When it is attached to the ethyl radical, C2H5, we have ethyl alcohol, CH3CH2OH, which is also known as ethanol. These are the 2 most common alcohols and are further described below. Methanol. Ethanol. Alcohols: propanol, butanol, pentanol, octanol. Basic types of alcohols. Glycerol. Methanol is also known as methyl alcohol or wood alcohol. Ethanol is also called ethyl alcohol, pure alcohol or drinking alcohol. Ethyl alcohol, ethanol, is a colorless liquid at room temperature. Boil at 780 C and freeze at -1140 C. Mix easily with water, the two dissolves in each other. Is flammable and will burn in air if there is between 3% and 19% ethanol in the vapor. Is an excellent solvent and many industrial and consumer products are based on materials dissolved in alcohol. Is the alcohol we get in one beer, usually less than 5% by volume, wine, between about 6% and 15% by volume, and spirits, up to 50% by volume. Compare alkanes and alcohols. Alkanes and alcohols are hydrocarbons. In alcohols, however, one or more of the hydrogen atoms has been replaced by a hydroxyl OH. In an ethane molecule, C2H6, 2 carbon and 6 hydrogen atoms are bonded together. Ethane. Note how one of the hydrogen atoms in a molecule of ethyl alcohol was replaced by an OH. Ethyl alcohol. The importance of alkanes in animal and plant metabolism. Alkanes occur in nature in several ways and play a role in some metabolic pathways in animals and plants. Animals. Animals like cattle have bacteria that digest cellulose in their digestive system. Cellulose is an organic compound found in all plant material. Cattle are ruminants. Ruminants have several stomachs that break down plant material using enzymes and bacteria. The partially digested material is then brought back into the mouth and chewed again to break down the material even further. The digestion of cellulose by bacteria in the stomachs of ruminants is anaerobic, which means that the process does not use oxygen. Methane is a byproduct of anaerobic metabolism. Ruminants release large amounts of methane daily. Plant. Long-chain alkanes are found in some plants. It forms a firm layer of wax called the cuticle. The cuticle covers the leaves of plants and protects the plant from water loss. The cuticle also protects the minerals stored in the plant from leaching when it rains. The cuticle helps to protect crops from damage because bacteria, fungi, and harmful insects find it difficult to penetrate the thick waxy layer. Alcohols. Alcohol is formed from alkanes. One of the hydrogen atoms in an alkane is replaced by a hydroxyl group, OH, and then forms an alcohol. Alcohols therefore contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. The name of an alcohol always ends in -ol. The importance of methanol. Methanol is the simplest alcohol. It contains only one carbon atom. When methanol burns, carbon dioxide and water are formed. Methanol is used as a fuel or as an additive in gasoline to improve combustion. Methanol is mostly used to make other goods such as plastics, paints, plywood, and some textiles. Brandy contains methanol, but it is mainly made from ethanol. Methanol is toxic. The importance of ethanol. The alcohol in alcoholic beverages such as beer and wine is ethanol. Ethanol is also commonly used as a solvent. It is relatively safe and can be used to dissolve many organic compounds that are insoluble in water. It is used, for example, in many perfumes and cosmetics. When ethanol burns, it forms carbon dioxide and water. Ethanol can be used alone or in mixtures with petrol as a fuel. Ethanol is a biofuel. This means that it is a fuel produced from living material or from material that was previously alive, such as crop residues. Ethanol can be produced from a variety of feeds, such as sugarcane, sugar beet, sorghum, barley, maize, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and sunflowers. Ethanol is a renewable fuel because it is made from plants. When a small amount of ethanol is added to gasoline, usually less than 10%, it has numerous benefits. Ethanol reduces carbon dioxide and other wastes in the exhaust gases of vehicles and thus makes the air cleaner. It makes engines run smoothly without the need for lead or other chemical additives. Because ethanol is made from crops that absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, it helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Activities/assessment. Successful Agricultural Sciences Grade 11, page 35. Discuss the impact of biofuel development in South Africa. Read the article and then answer the questions. Biodiesel can stimulate economic boom in rural areas. Sholane Govender. Research will be done on the use of biodiesel waste in animal feed, with potential economic benefits for rural farming communities. The main aim of the research is to improve the nutritional value of oil cake, a byproduct of biodiesel. Oil cake is an important component of animal feed, especially in the diet of pigs and poultry and in viscose. Another goal is to produce biodiesel more economically and to establish manufacturing industries in semi-urban and rural areas. This includes biodiesel processing and industries created to add value to the processing of byproducts such as oil cake. Soybeans and sunflower seeds will be the two main crops used during the research phase for biodiesel production. Information on these two crops is comprehensive and the use of the oil cake byproducts has been established in the animal market. Source, adapted and translated from an article by Sholane Govender that originally appeared in the Pretoria News, October 24, 2006, page 7. 1. Define biofuels. 2. Explain why the production of biofuels is increasing. 3. Name the benefits of using biofuels for the environment. 4. What role can the production of biofuels play in improving livestock feed? 5. Explain how the biofuel industry can help rural areas and small-scale farmers. Consolidation. The lesson covered the content set out in the CAPS document. Values. By studying this lesson, you should be able to know and understand the concept, alkanes and alcohols. Learners must understand what is covered in the content in order to successfully answer questions and the use of the necessary skills. Learners will be able to use the knowledge and skills as foundation for progression to the next lesson.
Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more future educational videos.